idea what he's talking about. I just wrote this poem on Sunday. I was at church.
You wrote Sunday a year ago.
And this little girl came up to me and said, I heard you were a poet. I said, yeah. Yes, I have a shirt on, bitch. The little girl said, I heard you write poems. I said, yes, I write poems. She said, well, we're in church. Tell me what kind of poems you write. So I told her, I write that rebel poetry. It's that rap, rock and roll hybrid poetry that calms your mind and increases your soul. It's that rebel poetry. The kind of poetry you heard from Jimi Hendrix when he plugged his guitar in front of an all-white audience. Jam-packed with rejected revolutionary riders. I can hear Jimmy, they can see Jimmy, they can even feel his addiction. Yeah, I wrote that rebel poetry. The kind of poetry that forced Lil Timmy to steal that new Eminem album, and that poetry that forced Tom Curvain to be insane in the membrane while Type Secret smoking that Afghani Kush kind of kill kind of poetry. Yeah, I write that rebel poetry. The kind of poetry that can't be seen and it can't be heard. It can only be felt. It's that poetry that makes lovers' hearts smell. It's that poetry that packs a bunch so loud. Shit, Michael Vick don't even come around. I write that rebel poetry. It's that Nas versus Jay-Z, that East versus West, but in the end it's that me versus you. I make that battlefield poetry. All the poets stay strapped with ink pens, using white piece of paper as their shields. It's that Denzel that training there, that big worm from Friday. Nah, it's some young parts I stole Jordy's Isaiah Baby Boy kind of poetry. You know, that poetry with a heart kind of poetry, yeah. I make that rebel poetry. The kind of poetry that allows you to walk on your hands when your feet get stuck. The kind of poetry that allows you to move entire crowds, even when your time is run up. The type of poetry that fathers use to teach their sons how to grow up and be real men. Real men who abide by the laws of the good book and they comply. The kind of poetry you heard from the late Gil Scott Heron. What'd he say? What'd he say, Travis?
He said, fuck
him! Fuck with all his rich raggedy friends. They spit on like to slip up and call us niggers, which is just a combination of nigger and negro. For me, no sir, I am neither. I make that I want black people to be free kind of poetry. You heard most Def sing. I make that I used to love hip hop kind of poetry. You heard from Common Sense. I make that parents just don't understand kind of poetry that we still relate to this day. So take this to your local country spot where the commoners listen to the top 40s on the jukebox and preach this shit. Man, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, T-Rock, because this is rebel poetry.